Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. My name's Tyler Clary. I'm this Director of Sales and Marketing here with Fitter and Faster Tour. And we've got with us today Chloe Sutton, who is the Vice President of Fitter and Faster. We're both fellow Olympians, although Chloe's been to one more Olympics than I have. And this is another broadcast of hashtag FFT Live presented by Fitter and Faster Swim Camps. So we're super stoked that you guys are here today. Let us know in chat where you're from and what swim team you're repping. And without further ado, we're going to get started, but only after one more announcement. So all week this week, we're actually working very closely with Arena to give away a pair of goggles to 5 lucky winners in each one of our webinars this week. So it's not just this webinar. It's all of our webinars this week. So if you want to win a pair of goggles and you don't necessarily win them today, go ahead and sign up for those other webinars and make sure you're there and you hang out until the very end of the webinar. So for today, make sure you're online with us until the very end. This is going to be about 45 minutes long. We're going to announce all 5 winners live and online with you right now, or excuse me, at the end of the webinar, obviously not right now. And we'll be in touch with you in a couple of days to send you your free stuff. Again, this is called Breaking It Down, and we're going to be analyzing flip and open turns for you guys. And we've probably got the world's best flip and open turns coach that there is. Again, Chloe Sutton. Everybody let her know how you feel about her and tell her hello. Chloe, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited for this one.
Good. I'm really excited too. And, for as long as we've worked at Fitter and Faster together, you and I have only gotten to do, I think, 1, maybe 2 clinics together. Yeah. And I think the last one that I remember was actually in Mount Pleasant. And it was really awesome to watch you work because you clearly had done it so many times and you'd had a lot of time put into all of your material and all of the ways that you related to younger athletes. And we actually did, I think, get to cover flip turns. And I thought you did such a great job at it. So I'm really excited to watch you do what you do today. Well, so yeah, no problem. Do you have anything for our viewers as we get started?
I'm just going to probably jump right into it. I did want to do a quick shout out. I know my good friend Avery Senga is watching today, and today is her 13th birthday. So happy birthday, Avery. And then also, just in case, David Arluck, one of my best friends, I consider him an uncle, and also my boss, David Arluck, the founder of Fitter and Faster. It is also his birthday today. So you guys make sure you head on over to either Fitter and Faster or David Arluck's Instagram or Facebook. Wish him happy birthday. Make sure you shower him with love today because we sure do love him. And like I said, Avery's 13 and David Arluck is 49. So very different people. But I'm so excited that it's their birthdays today, and I just wanted to give them a quick shout out. So happy birthday, guys. So I'm gonna jump into turns. Turns are something, it's funny because some of my favorite things to teach are breaststroke and turns. I still always love teaching freestyle. Freestyle is my thing. That is the thing that I'm best at in swimming. But the things that I was worst at in swimming were turns and breaststroke. And towards the end of my career, and when I started teaching Fitter and Faster swim camps, I remember feeling really insecure that I just didn't know that much about turns, and I didn't know that much about breaststroke. So I just spent like a few years really determined, and this is just kind of who I am, is if I decide I want to be good at something, I go a little bit too hard, I go a little bit too crazy, and I make it so that I am going to be the best person at, either doing this thing, or for me, it was teaching this thing. And so flip turns and open turns, like I said, if you go back and watch videos of me swimming, you'll be like, wait a second, her turns weren't very good. But it wasn't really until I retired that I took a huge passion and interest in becoming the best turns coach I could ever be. And now my turns are way better now than I was when I was swimming, but you can't have everything. So, so this is one of my favorite things to teach, especially at swim camps. I love teaching turns. And I wanted to make this really interactive. I used some technology, which is huge for me. This is connected to my phone, so I can control it. And this is actually our Fitter and Faster app. So this is, if you go to swimvideos.net, you can sign up for our app and you can see all these awesome videos. Tyler, are you going to be able to share that offer on in the side there?
Yep, everybody, you should see something on your screen here in just a couple of seconds. You probably are seeing it before we're saying anything to you, but that's a link to our app. We actually have an app that we've put together, and we've got a lot of videos on there that are really useful to be able to improve yourself and your swimming while you're at home and unable to get into the pool. So we're going to show you a few of those videos today as part of this webinar. But if you want to access the rest of them, just click on that link and make sure you check it out, and you'll get access to all that stuff. It's a really great resource. So we'll have that up for just a couple more minutes, and at the end, we'll talk about it one more time. And then I actually have one more giveaway that I want to talk to you about at the very end. So make sure you stick around until the end today, all right?
Cool. All right, so the first thing, though, before we get into the app, I'm going to share a little presentation. I got this, Tyler. I'm going to share a little presentation with you guys that I put together about flip turns and open turns. There's only a couple slides. We'll kind of bounce back and forth between the videos and the slides, but I want to talk about this a little bit right now. So basically, flip turns and open turns are very similar. They have kind of a lot of the same goals in mind as you go through it. And if you're thinking about it, as you're swimming, you dive in, you've got all this momentum as you're swimming, gaining momentum, or you're trying to build momentum. You're kind of slowing down, but you're maintaining that momentum. And as you come to every turn, a lot of people slow down and they kind of anticipate the turn, or they look at the wall and they're like, okay, I'm going to get ready to turn. But your goal through every turn is to accelerate into the wall, to build momentum into the turn, and then maintain that momentum through the turn to kind of slingshot you into the next lap. Okay, and so flip turns and open turns are very much the same in that it's all about building into the turn, and then through both using muscles, like using your strength, and reducing drag, you're trying to maintain that momentum through the turn and then jump off the wall to build a lot of speed. Like I said, if you anticipate the wall, if you slow down at all as you approach, or you ease into that turn, then you're going to have a bad time. You're not going to be able to get through that turn as fast as you should. Okay, so with both flip turns and open turns, you want to accelerate into the wall, keeping your head down. So not looking at the wall, not looking around too much, trying to keep your head down and nice and low in the water, and your arms long. You don't want to shorten your strokes, and you don't want to glide either, but you want to maintain your stroke, maintain those long arms, okay, as you build into the wall. All right. Then as you go through the turn, you want to reduce your drag. So you want to keep your arms in tight. You want to keep your head down and your chin tucked. You want to use your core and your knees to drive into your chest, and you want to bend your elbows, keeping your arms in close to your body. So in flip turns, that's bending your arms like this. And in open turns, it's bending your arms like this. And we'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. Okay. Then when you plant your feet on the wall, right, you want to put your feet on the wall in your best jumping position, right? So you don't want to get into the wall and get way too low. It's really going to be hard to jump if you sink your bottom all the way into the wall. But you also don't want to be too far away where you just kind of touch with your tiptoes. You don't want to have your legs squeezed together. If I told you to jump as high as you could, you wouldn't have your legs squeezed together. But you also wouldn't have your legs way far apart. So you want to have your knees in line with maybe your hips or your shoulders, and your feet also in line with your hips and your shoulders. Now, I have a funny story about that. Both flip turns and open turns, when I was swimming, especially when I was young, my mom was like a beauty pageant girl, okay? So she always used to make me cross my ankles when I sat, and when I stood, if I was standing, I would have to have good posture and cross my ankles, right? And I started to do that on my turns. When I went to push off the wall in both flip turns and open turns, I would cross my ankles because it just felt more natural to me. It felt ladylike. And I remember like a phase when I was probably about 12 or 13 when my coach was like, stop doing that. You have to jump off with your knees apart and like with my mom, right, like having your knees apart was so unladylike. And so I remember thinking to myself every turn, like, be unladylike as I went to push off the wall, trying to have my feet and my knees apart. Okay. So you want to have that good jumping position. You don't need to be ladylike when you're going to push off the wall. You've got to have your feet and your knees apart. Okay. Then obviously one of the biggest rules, one of the things that Tyler and I at our swim camps say a million times is push off in a nice tight streamline. Okay. You want to make sure you push off on a nice tight streamline, and then you rotate to your stomach, either through the push off in open turns or in your dolphin kicks in freestyle turns or backstroke turns. Or backstroke, you don't want to roll onto your stomach. Backstroke, stay on your back. But in freestyle, you want to roll onto your stomach in that streamline. Okay. So we're going to start out with, actually, let's go ahead and watch some video here. So I'm going to go into my app, and I'm going to look at flip turns. And this is me demonstrating a flip turn here, okay? Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. I can move my screen a little bit closer. But let's see if this will, there we go. So that was a nice little slow motion turn there. Building into the wall, accelerating into the wall, keeping my head down, right? As I get close to the wall, I'm going to tuck my chin, bend my elbows, plant on the wall, and then push off in a nice tight streamline. Okay.
And one thing to notice, y'all, that she does really well that sometimes people don't talk about too terribly much. Chloe, if you want to play that video one more time, is that she actually she pulled water past her head. Like you could actually watch her scooping the water past here, and that was actually allowing her to rotate a little bit faster. So it's not just put your hands at your side and do a flip turn into the wall. Watch her hands scoop the water behind her head as she comes into the wall here.
Oh, I don't know why it stopped. I think we just missed one.
Different video.
Yeah, this video is long, so I'm scrolling through. It's got all these different angles, so you can really see the turn in a bunch of different ways. So yeah, watch what I do with my arms, throwing water over my head. Like I said, we'll get into this a little more in a minute here. Throwing water
right
over my
there
head on the wall and pushing off. Okay.
And that also allows her to actually push forward into a streamline. So she pulls the water back behind her head and then extends into a streamline. A lot of times what I see, let me move back a little bit, is people doing a flip turn with their arms way out here. And the problem with that is that now they have to fight the water all the way up here to get their streamline done. But if you actually throw the water past your head like Chloe just was, it's really easy to get into your streamline from that position.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're talking about in these flip turns, we're trying to create that speed, build momentum into the wall, accelerate through the turn, reducing drag, like what Tyler was talking about, keeping your arms in nice and close, and then pushing off in that streamline. And you can see in open turns, and I might have to fast forward through Tyler's chit chat here in a minute, but through open turns, you also want to do the same thing. So we're building that speed into the wall, building your speed into the wall, touching with arms extended, keeping your arms in close, driving your knees into your chest, and pushing off. So when we talk about these turns, I want you guys to pay attention to some of the similarities that are between both of the turns and all of the turns, even, IM turns, if you're doing backstroke turns, butterfly and breaststroke, right? All of these turns have very similar qualities where you're accelerating in, you're keeping your arms long, head down, you're reducing drag by tucking into that tight ball, and spinning either forwards or backwards. In the open turn, you're spinning backwards, right? And then you're pushing off in that nice tight streamline. So these turns are very similar. And as you really begin to understand the technique and really feel all of the components that we're talking about, you'll begin to draw those parallels between the two. So let's get back. I'm going to pop back into my slide presentation real quick. And let's talk about specifically
so while you're doing that, there was a question asked by Sophia Hinojosa. I probably pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry. But she asked, is there anything to help with not using your arms with a flip turn? You actually should use your arms with a flip turn. So when you come into the wall, your arms are going to be next to your body, and you're going to be pulling the water past your head, and then you're going to be extending into a streamline. So just not using your arms during the turn is actually, I think, not the way to perform a turn. If that answers your question, Sophia. Go ahead, Chloe.
Sophia here. if you can make me large again. This is a great drill to kind of work on what the proper thing to do with your arms is in your turn. And this is on Fitter and Faster's YouTube channel. Kicking with your arms down at your side like this. And you see how my palms, I just pull through like this. This is a great drill just to get that feeling. You want to utilize your biceps as you pull your elbows up or you practice throwing water over your head. But this is a great drill to work on just that, how to use your arms properly. Because, yeah, you don't want to use your arms spinning around like this. You want to use your arms this way, keeping them nice and tight and close. So, yeah, another mistake is not using your arms at all, just kind of keeping them straight and just like bringing your head between your arms for a streamline. That's also not exactly what you want to do. So that's a great drill to practice at. And I'll show us a few more drills that'll help as well. So so the steps to a fast flip turn, okay? And I'll show you guys a video here in a minute all about this. But first of all, like I said, you want to accelerate into the wall, keeping your head down. So not looking at the wall. Here we go. Not looking at the wall. Not looking around, just keeping your head down and your chin tucked. And there's an ad playing, so I'm just going to go like that. Keeping your chin tucked in order to accelerate into the wall and not slow down. If you're going to lift your head, you might start to slow down. So you want to accelerate into the wall with your head down. Then you're going to tuck into that nice tight ball. So reducing drag through that tuck, both with your arms and with your legs. So on that last stroke, and I'll show a video of this here in a second, you're going to follow your hand with your eyes, okay? So on that last arm stroke, you're going to bring that arm down, nice high catch, and as your hand comes to your hip, you're going to watch your hand. You're going to watch your hand, and you're going to bring your eyes almost like you're looking at your belly button. You're going to start to tuck your chin and follow your hand with your eyes. Then you're going to use your core to forcefully bend at the waist, and that's when you're going to do this motion that Tyler was just demonstrating, where you're throwing water over your head, okay? Then you're going to plant your feet on the wall and shoot your arms into a streamline with your back parallel to the bottom of the pool before you push off. Okay, so those are kind of the steps. I'm going to go through another short video demonstrating this on the screen. Isn't this cool? I feel so technological. Okay, so, and I know is it backwards for you guys? I think on my screen at least.
No, it looks correct.
Oh, it looks correct? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, so we're accelerating into the wall, keeping our head down, right? And then do you see how I follow my hand with my eyes to tuck my chin? So my eyes are watching my hand, watching my hand, watching my hand, watching my hand, and then my head's pointing down towards the bottom of the pool. And that's when I bend my elbows to throw water over my head, right? And so that's helping you complete the turn, and that's helping you gain a little bit more speed. And I emphasize this so much. Tyler and I, when we teach swim camps, this is something we emphasize so much, is that motion there, right? And then step 4 is the push off, pushing off with knee and feet apart, right? And something also that's pretty important is staying shallow through your turn. If you're going quick through the turn, you don't want to let your body sink down towards the bottom of the pool. If you kind of flip over and hesitate, and if we're doing a drill, sometimes that happens, like if we're doing like a plant, pause, push, which I can show you in a minute too, we might feel ourselves kind of sink down if we hesitate through the turn. We want to accelerate through it and stay shallow and then push off at a downward angle. If we're flipping through the turn, dropping down, and then pushing off, it's a bit of a waste of time. So you want to stay shallow through the turn, plant your feet on a wall in a position that allows you to push off possibly at a slightly downward angle in order to get that distance off the turn that you would like, okay? So that's pretty much, there's my husband. That's pretty much the technique of flip turns. And I want to show you guys a few drills now, okay? So the first one is just a stationary flip turn. This is a great drill. Make me bigger. There we go. See, this is me talking about throwing the water over your head like that. So this is a great drill to just practice tucking into that really nice tight ball, right? So watch my arms, watch how I bend my elbows and I tuck in, keeping my chin tucked, toes pointed, in order to spin all the way around. So you guys can challenge yourself with this drill and see how far around you can get, how quickly and how far around you can get. Hold on to that tight ball. See if you can even maybe do 2. I only do about 1.5. I wish I could just get over a little bit more. This is a great drill to practice to get really nice and tight like that, okay? So that's a great drill to practice that tuck and utilizing your arms properly. Another good one, and we're gonna watch a Nick Thoman video. This is called plant, pause, push. So this is another Olympian swimming in, bending his elbows, and he's just pausing on the wall with that nice flat back, arms in a streamline, and his legs in the proper position. So if you're not sure if you're pushing off in the proper position, this is a great drill just to take that moment to pause and stop and feel the way that you're landing on the wall, right? You see his great 90-degree angle between his knees and his hips. So his back is flat to the bottom of the pool, and his feet are high enough on the wall to give him that nice angle on the push-off. Nick is known for his streamlines. He's got one of the best streamlines in the business. And so watch how nice and tight his arms are against his head, nice flat back, and he's able to push off and get a lot of distance even without kicking off of that wall. So those are two really great drills. I also showed the kickboard drill to go through in your flip turn. Let's see if there's any other questions. Tyler, you can throw them out. But that's pretty much what I've got for flip turns.
Yeah, I mean, most people are saying that this is super useful, and I haven't seen any super pointed questions about flip turns in and of itself yet. So I think that means that you're covering everything, and that doesn't surprise me because you're a pro.
Yeah.
So let's why don't we get started talking a little bit about open turns, and if any final questions come in about flip turns, I'll address that.
Okay, great. So open turns. Open turns are super fun. I love open turns. I wish I would have done more butterfly and breaststroke in my career. But let's talk about open turns here for a minute. So I'm going to share the screen again. I'm going to show you guys my little presentation. And again, a lot of the stuff we talked about in flip turns is going to be paralleled in open turns. It's a lot of the same concepts, tucking into that nice tight ball, maintaining your momentum through the turn. All right. So probably the number one rule a lot of you guys already know is how many hands do you want to touch the wall with in breaststroke and butterfly turns. I'm not very good at math, but if I can count correctly, it would be 2 hands. So you want to make sure you touch with 2 hands. The other thing that's really important when you touch the wall is you don't want to touch with flat hands. You don't want to touch with bent elbows, right? You want to touch fully extended with your fingertips, right? You want to touch fully extended. You don't want to let yourself come in close to the wall, all right? So touch with both hands, touch with your fingertips, and then you'll kind of go through the turn and let your hand drop as that elbow bends, but you want to stay far away from the wall. You don't want to let yourself come in too close. If the wall is here, so this is the top of the pool right here, I don't want to touch the wall up here because look, I had to swim that much extra. I want to touch the wall back here, okay? So we want to stay as far away from the wall as we can. We want to make sure that we're not swimming any more than we have to. Then you want to tuck into your ball. So then you kind of want to drive your knees into your chest, right? And you want to keep your chin tucked all the way through. Keeping your chin tucked is probably the number one mistake that I see people make is when they lift their head as soon as they start to go through the turn. You know, I'm going to show you guys a drill, one of those backflip drills. I'm sure many of you guys have practice the backflip drill for open turns. If you haven't, I'll show you a video here in a minute. But you want to tuck your chin to drive backwards, and that's going to allow you to spin backwards. If you try to throw your head back, it's going to create drag. You're going to take up more space, and you're not going to be able to spin back as quickly. Also, if you lift up, then you're creating a lot of weight that's going to push you down. And just like in flip turns, you don't want to allow your body to sink through the open turn. You want to stay on the surface of the water. You want to stay high up. You want to pretend like there's a shelf, like a foot underneath the water that you're trying not to hit. So if you stay nice and shallow and you keep your chin tucked and you drive your knees into your chest really close, you're going to spin through quicker and you're going to be able to get your feet on the wall and get you going back the other direction much faster, okay? So then I'm sure all of you guys know my fun little saying, and it's not mine. I never claim to have come up with it. This is how I was taught open turns, but you want to elbow your brother, call your mother. I've heard a few other fun analogies for what you do with your arms in open turns. If you've got another fun analogy, post it over in the chat. I'd love to see it. But you want to elbow your brother, okay? And I like to try to, I'm going to scoot back a little bit. You want to try to keep that arm close to your body and pretty parallel to the bottom of the pool. You don't want to let that arm drop down too much. I see a lot of people kind of swing their arm down like this. You want to keep your elbow close and pretty shallow. I sometimes will have swimmers put a kickboard on their palm, like, and pretend like they've got like a glass of water, like they have a serving platter with a glass of water on it, and you want to try to bring that hand through. And that's going to allow you to bring that hand through quicker. Sometimes a little bit down is okay if that's going to help you initiate the backward spin motion. I think in Tyler's turn, he does bring his hand down a little bit, but then it comes through nice and quick. But all that matters is you want to reduce drag through driving your elbow back in order to get your half streamline ready to go over here, okay? So you've got elbow your brother, right? Bringing that hand through, coming back to form half your streamline. And then you've got your other hand coming up here to call your mother. You don't want to reach up and take a selfie. Shamelessly stole that analogy from Scott Welch. Through here, don't want to take a selfie, come up like this. You want to bring that hand right past your ear and then push off and get into your streamline like that, okay? So those arm motions are very important to stay tight, to think small, like you're trying to thread a needle. You're trying to get through that turn and shoot into your streamline, going back the other direction, okay? All right, you can go back to the presentation now. So another thing that's really important is when do you take your breath on the open turn, okay? I've been talking about how you want to keep your chin tucked, keep your eyes down through the open turn. So as soon as you touch, you're beginning to come back the other direction, you've got your chin tucked. Right as you fall back, right before you duck under the water, right as you're pretty much calling your mother, that's when you take your little bite out of the air. And it's a very small little bite, okay? And then you're going to plant your feet on the wall. So, you know, through the open turn, your goal is to get your feet from over here to get to the wall. Plant your feet on the wall. You drop under and you push off mostly on your side. And then as you extend your legs, as you jump, that's when you're rotating to your stomach, okay? So a lot of similarities in the flip turn and the open turn. We're accelerating in, head down, arms long, right? We're tucking into a tight ball and bending our elbows. We're planting our feet on the wall and pushing off in a streamline. So many similarities, but a few differences too, right? Obviously, the open turn and flip turn are very different, but a lot of the same concepts apply. And when you begin to see those similarities, that's when you're going to be able to make some real strides, all right? So let's watch a Tyler Clary open turn. You guys get to see some of what the app has here. It's pretty cool. So we've got a Tyler Clary open turn. Rewind just a little bit. All right, so here's like our out of the water view of the open turn. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, come on, buddy. There we go. So here's our Tyler Clary open turn. Really quick. All right, so here's the out of the water view. Watch how he drives his knees in nice and tight with his legs, keeping them really shallow. He doesn't let anything drop down too much, touching with arms extended. And you see how he kind of falls back under the water to push off. Touching arms extended with his fingertips, driving his knees into his chest. And you see how he pushes off with the elbow your brother and call your mother. Here's another good angle. You guys can really see driving those knees in, tucking under, nice tight streamline. Here's out of the water. See if you can see when he takes his breath. So not breathing, right there. That's when he takes his breath, right as he falls back underneath the water. If you take your breath too early, it's going to cause a hesitation in your turn. So head down, right there. That's when he takes his breath, okay? So super important. Can your feet be too high on the wall? Absolutely. You don't want your feet like coming out of the water. That's not going to help you. You want to experiment with it because everybody's going to have maybe a slightly different depth just depending on your body. You see Tyler's feet plant right around that T. You see he plants right around the T here, right at the top of the T, okay, on the crossbar. Mine probably plant just a little bit higher because I'm just a little bit shorter than him, but it really depends on you, okay?
Yeah. To address a question I've seen a couple of times from people is about, how should we be pushing off the wall in both open turns and in flip turns? In my opinion, if these are your feet and this is the top of the surface of the water, you should be pushing off at roughly a 45-degree angle. So as you flip over on freestyle, your feet will come over and then kind of, they'll come over and then kind of hit the wall in a 45-degree angle. So you're not exactly pushing off on your back or your side, you're kind of in between. And if you were watching my feet during that open turn, I brought my feet up and they would just kind of hit the wall at a 45-degree angle, and then I would push off and rotate over onto my stomach.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so we're going to I'm going to use my YouTube channel for, well, let's watch Camille Adams do a backflip drill for open turns. And so this is working on that nice tight tuck. This is working on bringing your knees into your chest really aggressively, keeping your arms in close and keeping your chin tucked. That's kind of the number one thing. So here's this backflip drill where she's keeping her chin really tucked and she's doing that backflip. So you see how her head stays down. She's not trying to throw her head back in this drill. Floating, floating, and then an aggressive backflip. Okay, I think we've got another one. I think Tyler does this. Do you do the same drill in this app, I believe? Or I think you do just a stationary
flip turns. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's for flip turns. Okay. Okay, so then, oh, no, this is a really good one. This is the one I wanted to show. Scott Welch is able to go like almost 2 times around in his spin drill for turns. Watch this. Whoa, that's really good. And then he goes into a streamline. So Scott Welch is excellent at this drill. He keeps arms nice and tight. He tucks into that really tight ball. And he's able to go all the way around and then go into his streamline. So that's kind of the next level. The Camille video, that was kind of the first level. If you guys can do that, she uses her arms just a little bit and she just kind of goes around. Scott Welch is able to get all the way back around and go into a streamline like that. So this is the challenge version of this drill, is getting into that streamline back on your stomach. But you just see how tight he tucks his knees and how tight he tucks his chin in order to go through. Okay, so that's a great drill. Okay, we're gonna go to my YouTube channel now. And I'm gonna see if I can kind of navigate through this video a little bit. I can get it to work.
It's a wonderful head of hair and a beard, I must say.
Yes.
So again, while we're pulling this stuff up, guys, we're going to announce the winner of our goggle giveaway at the end of this video. So we're going to announce 5 winners. So make sure you stick around until the end of the video, and we're going to send you a code so you can get a free pair of Arena Airspeed goggles. All right. We're also going to tell you about another giveaway that's happening later this week. But just to remind you guys, we're actually giving away 5 pairs of goggles at each and every webinar that we're doing this week. So make sure you go over to fitterandfaster.com/live to sign up for all those shows, and you'll get chances to win free goggles.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's going to be really cool. So here's kind of the next step of drills that I teach you guys. This is a really fun little sequence to go through. All you need is a wall. You're just going to kick against the wall every single time, okay? So the first step to this drill is just kicking against the wall and then putting your feet on the wall. So practicing using your core to drive your knees in and just putting your feet on the wall, okay? Hopefully you guys all can see that pretty well. All right, the next step is going to be to add in elbow your brother. So leaving one hand on the wall, adding in just one elbow, okay? So still trying to utilize driving my knees into my chest and throwing one elbow back. Then you're going to add in call your mother, land on the wall with your knees, trying to get into that lightly 45-degree angle, but with one elbow down by your side and one elbow up by your ear, okay?
And notice how she was landing at a 45-degree angle, and she wasn't putting all of her feet on the wall. It was just the balls of her feet, so her toes and the very front half of her foot. I saw a couple questions about that. So it's at a 45-degree angle, and it's your toes and the front half of your foot.
And Tyler, I don't think we'll have time today to do crossover turns. I see a lot of people asking about bucket turns, crossover turns, what the best back to breaststroke turn is. And that's a whole other webinar probably on its own. So so those of you who have questions about that, hang tight. I think Tyler and I might try to schedule a webinar on the crossover turn here in a bit. The crossover turn is the fastest IM turn in at least my opinion. So those of you who have questions about that, bucket turns are not more efficient than open turns. We're talking about breast to breast, fly to fly turns right now. Okay, so we can get into IM turns another day, but for right now, we're just doing breast to breast and fly to fly. Okay, maybe fly to back too, but maybe breast to free, but not the backstroke to breaststroke turn. Okay. Alrighty, so yeah, like he was saying, I'll be your brother, call your mother. In this one, I'm just putting my feet on the wall, but when I added call my mother, I'm trying to get that nice little 45-degree angle, pointing my knees slightly to the side. But in this drill, we're mostly focused on that tucking into a turn and then, yeah, the balls of your feet on your turn. So here's my full turn. Again, not as good as Tyler at demonstrating it, but you can see how I tuck my chin and how nice and little and tight I get, trying to keep my arms in close, right? And here you can really see where I take my breath. So I believe I pause it in a moment here, right where I take my breath in my turn. So chin tuck, right here. You can see this is where I take my breath right at the end. Right before you drop under the water, you take that bite out of the air, okay? Try to stay high. See, my feet probably get maybe just a smidgen higher than Tyler's on the wall just because I'm a little bit shorter, but I still try to plant my feet in a way that I can get a maybe slightly downward angle. If I'm doing breaststroke, I want to do a nice long breaststroke pull out. And if I'm doing butterfly, I want to do a long kick out too. So this is one last drill that I really enjoy doing. You put a chair against the side of the pool, nice and low to the water, and you're going to try to turn through that chair. You want to try to keep your chin tucked and your arms in close. If I lift my head, I'm going to hit the seat of the chair. If I bring this arm out to the side at all, my elbow, your brother arm, I'm going to hit the chair. If this arm comes up or to the side at all, I'm going to hit the chair. If I turn my knees too far to the side, I'm going to hit the chair. But if I stay right in that little hole, right underneath the legs in the seat of the chair, keeping my arms in close, keeping my chin tucked, spinning backwards, and then getting my feet just in that 45-degree angle as I plant on the wall, then I'm going to be able to go through this turn without hitting the chair. Probably good to do this with maybe a plastic chair instead of a metal one, but I've done this a ton, and it's a really fun drill to try to practice and get really good at because it's kind of like a party trick. You can show your friends that you can turn through a chair. But this is just a great little drill to practice staying really tight, staying really small, and it'll help you get much quicker. Okay, we can go through common mistakes real quick too. This is fun. Coming in too close to the wall, so right, not touching with arms extended, touching with your fingertips, or lifting way up to get a breath. I know that probably looks familiar to a lot of you, especially that 7th turn in the 200 butterfly. I know that was really hard for me. In my butterfly races is when you're getting really tired, you want to get up all the way. And then, let's see, what other common mistakes do I have here? And then taking a selfie. So you see, swinging my arm up, it looks like I'm taking a selfie there. You got to get that good angle. You don't want to get the double chin, right? And then the last one is turning around onto your stomach. You don't want to do that either. You want to keep your knees pointed more up and not dropping down to the bottom of the pool. All right.
Okay.
So, rapid fire. I feel like I'm talking really fast. I'm very hyper today.
Oh, good. I'm sure it's keeping people very engaged.
Yeah.
So do you have anything else for us before we get into a quick Q&A, and then we're going to announce some winners of some free goggles?
I don't think I have too much more. I think I'm really excited to do some Q&A, talk a little bit about what we talked about today. I want to know what questions you guys might have, what you might be interested in. I might have a video I can share that'll help answer some of those questions. So what questions do you guys have? And then we'll announce the winner of the giveaway.
All right. Yeah. Everybody write in your questions and we'll try to answer those rapid fires as they come in. You will be getting an email with a link to the replay of this video. So if you missed anything, if you came in halfway through or whatever, we will have a recording of this on our website and you'll get an email for it.
Okay, so I'm going to look through the questions here a little bit. Should we look to the side or the bottom of the pool during an open turn? You should try to keep your head looking straight forward, as in like the top of your head looking straight forward. Your eyes are going to be down at the bottom of the pool, and then as you fall backwards, you're still just going to keep your chin tucked. So you don't want to turn your head to the side. You don't want to look to the side during the open turn. You want to keep your head pretty straight on, and then it's kind of right underneath the water that you're going to be able to twist onto your stomach. But you don't want to, especially as you're going through, you don't want to be looking to the side at all. You want to keep your head straight on.
Right. I always say you want to imagine your head is in a really narrow hallway while it's above the water. So you don't physically have the ability to turn your head to the side. You have to keep your head facing the wall until you get under the water. Then you can rotate on your stomach.
Yeah. Somebody asked, what are some drills you can do at home for swim? So if we're talking about turns, some drills you can do at home to practice this. I'm going to angle my camera down. And I'm not fat. I'm pregnant. I've got a little baby bump. So, just pointing that out. Something where you're in a position and you're bringing your knees up to your chest, right? drills like that where you're maybe even, I shouldn't do this, but hopping your feet forward and tucking into a tight ball. That's another kind of drill that you can work on to get really good at engaging your core, bringing your knees into your chest. So in a plank, drive your knees into your chest. You can do your knees across your body, and then even like laying in holding a plank position and jumping your feet up, trying to use your core to bring your knees up into your chest. You can also place your feet in either a TRX or on a Swiss ball and do tucks, right? You're in the same plank position with your feet on something and you just drive your knees into your chest. That's going to help you be more explosive when your fingertips touch the wall. Drive your knees in. You've got to utilize your core, so you have to have a strong core in order to do that. Then you can also, we're doing all these stroke technique courses. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but we're really excited about them. We're going to be coming out with starts and turns technique courses where we teach you how to practice technique out of the water. So through visualization, through videos and presentations similar to this, but a little bit more interactive where there's only 12 people in a class, and then going in front of a mirror and practicing the movements, okay? You can do some of this on your own if you want, or if you can't, sign up for the class, but I'd recommend keeping an eye out for some of our starts and turns and all of our stroke technique courses where you're going to work with our elite clinicians. Again, there's only 12 people in the class, so it's very interactive, and you go in front of a mirror to practice technique, okay?
Where can they find these classes on our website, Chloe?
Yeah, if you, oh no, my sign fell down.
Backdrop fell.
So if you go to our website, I'm not exactly sure what the URL is right now, but go to maybe our Instagram, or Tyler, can you plug that in maybe to our offers?
Yes, I will plug that in right now.
Okay. The landing page for it?
Yep, it's actually register for interactive online swim programs.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So he's going to plug that into our offers. We've been advertising it, and we're still trying to rearrange our website since we've pretty much built a brand new business over the last few weeks with not being able to do any swim camps. So we're still rearranging our website to make those really easy to find. But for right now, I'll have Tyler share it in the offers, and you guys can check that out too. So Molly asked, I struggle with lifting my head up going into a flip turn. How can I keep my head down? You could maybe try putting like a softball or something under your chin and trying to practice an open turn. I also, and I don't think I have a video of it, which I should have a video of it. You can also put a paddle on your head and try to do a flip turn, keeping a paddle on your head. So just through the resistance of the water, you swim into the wall, pushing a paddle into your head. And then as you go through the flip, if you lift your head, the paddle's going to fly off. So as you go through the flip, you kind of keep pushing the top of your head into the water, and that'll keep the paddle on. But that's another great drill to work on that. You can also have a friend or a coach get a kickboard, and if your head starts to lift up, they just give you a little love tap. That's something that might be able to help as well.
So just to talk you guys through these courses just a little bit, if you touch that button that says online courses, that's on your screen right now, it's actually going to take you to a page that shows you all of our different dryland strength and conditioning courses. We have specific butterfly courses, specific freestyle courses, and so on and so forth. Well, we'll actually have you on with a world-class clinician, and you're able to ask questions and go over video and different drills live with people. So it's not just like a video that we have posted there. You're going to be online with the world-class clinician. So definitely check that stuff out.
Yeah. And I think I saw somebody say they clicked it and it took them like from this tab to it. So just click that at the end of the webinar, or keep an eye out. We're going to be emailing more about that. You guys, your parents should be getting emails about that as well. So be sure to check that out. It's going to be great.
Sorry, I'll fix that right now so people don't get pulled away.
You can open in a new tab. Let's see. It's hard. You guys are asking so many questions, it starts jumping around. Should my turn be faster or slower for a longer distance swim? It should be the same. Maybe just because in a sprint race, you're swimming much faster, so that momentum is going to be greater. So it might look like those turns are a little faster as that momentum's greater. And in a longer distance swim, you don't have that same speed that you maintain throughout the whole thing, but you should try to keep your turns the same speed. You want to try to keep your turns just as fast. In fact, if you're in 1,000, if you're swimming 1,000 short course, you've got 39 turns. And so even if you're a 1/10 of a second faster on each turn, which is nothing, it's really hard. You can't even really get that if you on a stopwatch. You can't get that. So even if you're a 1/10 of a second faster on every turn, you're going to be 3.9 seconds faster at the end of your 1,000. So so that's just a really great opportunity to drop time. And also for me, my strategy in my distance races was often to build into and out of every turn. And that's going to be something that helps keep your energy up, keep your enthusiasm throughout the race. And it's going to prevent you from kind of using those turns as a rest. So accelerating into and out of every turn is going to keep your speed up, keep your heart rate up, and keep you pushing throughout the entire race. So while the turn may be a little bit slower just because you're moving a little bit slower in a distance race because you can't maintain your 50 speed in 1,000, you want to still try to make each turn as fast as you can. How important are turns in a long course meters setting? You know, I could say they're half as important because you have half as many turns. Okay, I could say that, but by saying that anything in a race is less important, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're opening up an opportunity for being slower than you could possibly be. And if your goal is to be the very fastest that you could ever be, Tyler and I in our swimming careers, we would watch our races after our race and analyze every little thing and figure out what could be better, what little thing could be better. So by saying that turns in the long course race are not as important, I mean, maybe because they're just a less of a percentage of the swim, but if you truly want to be great at anything, you're striving for that impossible perfection in every single area of your race. So I would say if you're going into a long course race saying, but the turns aren't as important, you're not going to get to the level of racing, especially in long course, that you want to get to. And somebody else may be considering their turns as something extremely important, and they're going to beat you. So
very good answer. And another way one of my coaches used to respond to that, it's like, yeah, you're only doing half as many turns in long course. But because you're only doing half as many, that means they're twice as important. It doesn't mean they're half as important. It means they're twice as important.
Yeah, yeah. Ellen said, I pop up right away. How do you fix that? Make sure you're pushing off deep enough. Make sure you're pushing off maybe at that slightly downward angle. If you're popping up right away, that might mean that your feet on the wall are a little bit too low. Or your upper body's a little too high, so you might be pushing off like this. So check your angle. Do that plant, pause, push drill, right? Here, I can show that real quick, I bet. The plant, pause, push drill is going to allow you, I've got it here. It's going to allow you to check your positioning on the wall. If I can get it to play. I had it paused for too long. It might have disconnected. But anyway, you're going to, I'll see if this can load. Let's see, I might need to close out the app. If you plant on the wall and you kind of check your positioning and you make sure that your back is parallel to the bottom of the pool, you're going to be able to push off at an angle that makes it so that you don't pop up right away. And also that you don't push straight down to the bottom of the pool because you don't want that either. Here it is. Here we go. So here's the plant, pause, push drill. So Ellen, try this drill. See how he's got that nice angle and he can push off straight away from the wall. See if his feet drop down and his upper body came up, he's going to go straight up. So it might be the angle that you have. Also, if you're struggling with breath control and you're popping up because you need air right away, practice, under supervision and responsibly, not doing too much breath holding, but you're just going to probably need to practice being able to control your breath through the turn and hold it for just a little bit longer. So like I said, do that responsibly, but this drill could be great for you to practice the angle that you push off at, making sure your feet and your body are at the right depth in order to push off in the best position possible. Okay.
So let's talk about let's talk about a giveaway that we're doing later this week.
Okay.
And then let's announce our webinar or our winners of our goggles. And then if we want to hang out for a couple more minutes and answer some final questions, we can do that. Okay, let me take this offer off your screen for just a minute. So one other giveaway that I want to talk to you about for a second is a giveaway that we're doing on Friday. Okay, so if you guys have been following along, I've actually been getting in an endless pool, and I've been showing you guys all sorts of different stroke related stuff, right? Now, I want everybody to get into the running to win a gift card. So last week we gave away $50 gift cards. The week prior we gave away $70 gift cards, and we actually gave away 3 in that webinar. Okay, here's what you have to do to enter. Okay, so if you're on Facebook or if you're on Instagram, you need to go over to our Facebook or our Instagram pages, and you have to find this post. Okay, if you find this post and you repost it on your Facebook or your Instagram.
Yourself bigger, Tyler.
Yeah, sorry. Good call.
You
You need to find this post on Facebook or on Instagram, and you need to share it onto your Facebook or your Instagram with the hashtag FFT Live giveaway. And if you scroll up a little bit, there's actually some instructions right here. There's some instructions right here on how to enter the giveaway. So find that on our Instagram and make sure you do that, and you'll get the chance to win up to a $70, and actually we may even go as high as a $100 gift card, but it kind of depends how many people participate, okay? All right, so now that everybody knows how to do that, let's pick out our winners. So I've got a handy dandy little randomizer here. So our winners are Hannah Bell. That's number 1. So congratulations, Hannah.
Yay!
Stick around till the end to make sure that you have a couple of other details. Okay, Shannon Adams. Let me write your names down so I don't forget. Okay, who else do we got here? We've got Becky Wang. Very nice. Congratulations, Becky. 1 or 2 more, actually, excuse me. We've got Luke Johnson. Who else do we got here? Handy dandy randomizer. Connor Lilly. Connor Lilly. Okay, so that's who our winners are. So one more time. That's Hannah Bell, Shannon Adams, Becky Wang, Luke Johnson, and Connor Lilly. Congratulations, y'all. You guys are getting a free pair of goggles. And this is how it's going to work. So once again, guys, we're doing this on every webinar that we have this week. And if I'm not forgetting, let me check it out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have got 4 more webinars this week. So we're giving away 20 more pairs of goggles after today. So there are 20 more chances for you to win goggles. So make sure you sign up for other webinars. Do that at fitterandfaster.com/live. Okay. And anybody who won today, you guys are going to get an email from us that's going to contain a code that comes from Arena, and you can use that code online to get a free pair of Arena Airspeed goggles, okay? There will be some other details in the email, so we're not sending you the goggles ourselves. You're actually going to go ahead and redeem that code online, but make sure that you keep an eye out for that email so you get your free goggles. Once again, check out our other webinars at fitterandfaster.com/live. Chloe was showing you a lot of the videos that are on our app called Swim Videos on Demand, and I'm going to show that on your screen now. So if you want to check out more of those videos, check those out right now. And don't forget, we're giving away gift cards on Friday during the live Endless Pool breaststroke demo. So make sure you go and check out that post on our Facebook or our Instagram. Share that post with the hashtag FFT Live giveaway, and you'll be in the running to get a free gift card up to $100. All right. Chloe, do you want to finish up with anything?
I think you did a great job. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for tuning into all these webinars. We're having so much fun. We hope that you are too. Fitter and Faster's got a lot of really cool stuff going on. We've got those dryland programs, and we've got those online stroke technique courses. So keep an eye out for them and sign up. I mean, they're selling out really fast. I know most of our dryland courses have sold out. We're going to be launching a new round. Our stroke technique courses, there are only a few spots left in a few of them. Most of them have sold out also. But we're going to do another round soon. And Tyler's showing you guys that that post to check out on our Instagram. And that's how you're going to find out all the information on how you enter some of those giveaways. So we're really excited about those too.
Okay, and as we finish up, I'm going to go ahead and take the webinar offline. But once again, we've got a button up there for our online courses, like Chloe was just saying. That's just going to take you to a list of the courses that we have online right now. So go ahead and click that button when we finish up here. Give it a look, and we will see you at the next webinar. So as always, stay safe, stay positive, and wash your dang hands. Bye now.
Bye.